All right, let's get out of that to continue around the Mpumalanga elective conference, which has just concluded a short while ago with President Cyril Ramaphosa officially closing the conference. Let's now cross over to our reporter, Samkele Maseko, who is in Mpumalanga for us. A very good afternoon to you, Samkele. All right, a number of points that were raised by the president of the ANC, but I wanted to talk about the fact that Ramaphosa says that the delegates going into the conference were divided and in different groupings. Is that what you picked up? And it's interesting that the president says this in the past tense, as though it's now all resolved and everybody's happy. I mean, what's the sense that you got from the start of the conference, which of course you've been attending throughout, to where we are now, where it's concluded, those that have been elected have been congratulated and it's a wrap. But is there a difference in terms of when you arrived and where we are? Is the president right in saying that there were these divisions, and do they not now suddenly exist?
Mpumalanga is a highly divided organization. They've elected new leadership belonging to the focus group, which the president of the ANC has also seemingly endorsed himself by repeatedly using that focus word and knowing very well what he was doing, because there are other words he can use as opposed to focus. And you've got the Ngui faction within the ANC that is allegedly aligned to the deputy president of the ANC, which he's lost out here. So the issue of unity is not a process of a conference, but it's a long-term thing of engagements and discussions. But we'll bring in Tim Mashela, who is an ANC member, an RTT member within the Bushbuck Ridge area and within Mpumalanga, to speak further on what he thought of the ANC president's speech. Your president says you've been highly divided and fraught with factions in Mpumalanga. Is there any truth and assertions, and that you are now united after this conference? Do the divisions still exist?
Thank you very much, Samkele, and greetings to the viewers at home. Let me confirm that we came to this conference as different lobby groups, but we are going home as one ANC. We are going to take a process of making sure that we work together as the ANC in Mpumalanga and unite the province. Key, Samkele, if you have listened to the reports from commissions and throughout the commissions, it was an issue of speeding up service delivery. Therefore, we are a big organization indeed, Samkele. We do have challenges. We are going through an area of turbulence, but we are going to rise above.
Your president called on for you to reflect on the election of someone who's charged for a serious crime, which is murder, which is Mandla Msibi, the elected provincial treasurer, and says you must reflect in line with the ANC's 54th National Conference resolution in 2017. What's your view as someone who may be an incoming member of the PEC, judging from the results that may come out?
The president have called comrades and members of the ANC in Mpumalanga to reflect on that matter. Therefore, I think it will not be a right platform for me to reflect on that particular matter now, because the president have given us that assignment. We will indeed reflect on it as instructed by the president, and in due course we'll come to yourself. We'll talk to the members of the ANC and we'll talk to everyone in South Africa on that matter.
Mandla Ndlovu, essentially, the president also, just to go back on your president's speech, he speaks about the ANC's factions, saying that if you are continuously fighting amongst yourselves, you will ultimately lose power and lose elections. What's your view, particularly knowing of the factions that exist in Mpumalanga and the chaos and violence that has ensued in branches, in particular in the Bushbuck Ridge area where you come from?
We, as members of the ANC, Samkele, who have disappointed the prophets of dooms, who said this conference will be chaotic. And we are here in this particular conference, you can bear testimony to that this was not a chaotic conference. It was a normal conference. We just contested each other. We just came here with different lobby groups. But I can tell you, we are coming out of this conference united and strong. We are going to build on the base that was laid by the delegates coming into this conference. We are going to unite the ANC, Samkele. Of course, we might have behaved and did in different ways coming here. Are coming out of this conference stronger than yesterday.
When you look at the pronouncements of Mandla Ndlovu, he says, should the president of the ANC be asked to avail himself for a second term, he should not say no and should say yes, like he did as Mandla Ndlovu.
Yes, I think that was the chair talking to President, advising President. I don't think there's any discussion around that. And the onus rests with the President whether he's going to accept it or not.
Thank you very much, Tim Mashele. That is Tim Mashele, who is been nominated, and he's waiting for the results to come out of the additionals of members within the PEC. But we are going to just go inside with my colleague Thabo, just to show you visuals of plenary as they are waiting for the results of the additional PEC members to be announced. The ANC president speaking about the renewal of the party and the allegations of violence that have dogged the governing party, the ANC. But it seems as if we are going to go out and try and doorstop the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa, because it seems as if there's movement there by the podium. As you can see, the Deputy Minister Fish Matlalela there as well, who is alongside other ANC members. The ANC President will be coming out from this exit point here as he leaves the conference venue. He was supposed to address earlier on in the day, but could not address, so you will have to hang 10 with us. But as I asked my colleague as well, Thabo, just to show you visuals of ANC, NEC members and the elections agency coming from that particular end of the conference venue, where they are now coming to announce the results of the additional members of the Provincial Executive Committee. They are led by Pule Mabe, the spokesperson of the ANC, and the coordinator within the Secretary General's office, that would be Dr. Gwen Ramahupa. They are coming to announce the additional members of the PEC. You can also see Mamloko Kupai Ngubane, who is an ANC NEC member and a deployee to the Mpumalanga province from the National Executive Committee, and Mam Advocate Lindiwe Maseko as well, who's part of the Electoral Committee of the African National Congress in this provincial conference of the ANC in Mpumalanga. So those whom have been contesting to be additional members within the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC will now know their fate if they did make it as additional members of the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC. So the results will be announced at this point in time on who is and has made it as a member of the PEC, as an additional member here within the Mpumalanga Provincial Conference. So we are, just before we quickly go to those results, are going to rush to see the former Deputy President of the ANC Youth League, whose name has been raised as an additional member within the PEC, Mr. Mwele. The results are about to come out of additional members of the PEC.
Yes.
Are you anxious that you may not be announced?
No. I'm not. But we'll hear from the agency.
Do you think you did make it into that PEC, judging from the results of your particular perspective focus, having had a clean sweep in the officials of the province?
Well, I'm sorry, I can't comment on that, but we'll hear the results when they are announcing now.
That is Desmond Mwele. He is one of those whom was raised by the branches of the ANC to be in the additional members of the Provincial Executive Committee. I'm going to have to cut this broadcast short as we go inside for the announcement.
All right, Samkele, let's catch up with you later on. Then do indeed go into the conference and let us know what's come out of it. We'll catch up with you shortly, and hopefully you'll have some